class for today. I have a set of blocks with me, so if you have something like that that you can use, it would be really, really nice to help support our flow in the beginning, but then throughout the rest of the flow as well, just to bring the ground to you and give you a little bit of support as you flow, and also change up the sensations that you may feel throughout class. So with that, go ahead and grab whatever you need in the space that you'll be flowing in, and we're going to go ahead and get started in embryo pose at the back of our mat. And so when coming into this space, it's basically a very compact child's pose. So those thighs are snuggling together toward one another, the heels hugging toward one another, and then you're going to slowly walk your torso over top the thighs, coming down onto your forearms to start, trying to get comfy in this space. And then once you feel like you are able to relax and let go through the fronts of the hips, then slowly start to drape one arm at a time around your thighs, basically encasing yourself and creating this really small, compact, introverted shape. And as you come into this space, allowing the forehead to rest heavy down onto the floor, you're feeling those shoulder blades melt away from one another, those shoulders melting toward the floor as they hug around the outside edges of the knees. And because we're in this really compact shape, there's really not a lot of space, of room for the belly to go when you take that nice deep breath in, that big inhale. So when you do take that nice big full breath in, as your belly, the front of your rib cage, starts to go press into the thighs, start to notice how that allows you to expand through the back body, through the back of the rib cage, into the low back. Relaxing the space all the way to the base of your pelvis. So when you take that nice deep inhale in, you feel a subtle lift of the tailbone. A nice lengthening through the low back. Continuing to utilize the breath to create space within the body, to settle the mind. Allow the gaze, the eyes to soften or close if they haven't already. Keeping the focus inward on whatever sensations arrive for you today. With every breath, you're trying to pull as much air in as you're able. And then on the exhales, you clear it all the way out. From this space, you're going to start to open yourself up into a child's pose. So nice and slowly starting to bring the fingertips out in front of you, one at a time. Gently lift the chest and widen the knees. And then starting to shimmy your belly, your torso between the thighs as you settle down toward the earth. Fingertips start to walk out away from you, feeling that length through the side body. So you're feeling that reach through the fingertips, but pressing gently through the palms to keep those sit bones anchored toward the heels. Continuing to relax and let go through the belly, through the base of the pelvis, as you pull that air in to expand through the rib cage. Diaphragm descends down to fill up, create space, and exhale. You let everything recoil as you release all the air out from bottom to top. 3 clarifying breaths. Inhale, seal the lips, pull that air in, pausing at the top. Open mouth, exhale, clear it all out. Seal the lips, deep inhale, pull it in. Open mouth, exhale, clear it out. One more, inhale. Exhale, clear it out. On the next inhale in, you're going to start to pull the body forward through a cat-like spine, opening up into through tabletop into upward facing dog, top of the mat. As you finish that inhale, we open, gentle press through the palms to help expand through the front body. And on the exhale, drop the knees, cow-like spine as we send the hips back in space. Big toes come back together to touch. A few rounds here, spinal waves. Inhale, pull the body through. Cat-like spine, pressing the ground away. Hips drop. Chest reaches through the shoulders, gaze to the horizon. And then exhale, send it back. Finding a cow-like spine, big toes together to touch, hips to heels. Forehead heavy towards the earth. Inhale, round and ripple, create space for yourself. Let it be whatever it needs to be, as big as it needs to be. Exhale, send it back. One more round, inhale, pull it forward. Unravel, create space, be as energetic as you'd like to be. Exhale, send it back. And pause here in child's pose. Inhale, walk the hands back toward the knees, coming into Vajrasana, sitting hips to heels. You have those blocks with you, so you're always welcome to place one underneath your seat. If you would like to find a little bit more support here in this space, sitting on top of the feet here. Stacking shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, crown of head nice and long, tall spine. Find your breath. You're welcome to keep the gaze soft, the eyes closed for as long as you like as you flow. I feel like that helps me stay in tune with my body, so you're in your own space. You're welcome to do that as well. Go ahead and clasp the hands behind your low back. On the inhale, draw the knuckles down between the big toes, collarbones nice and wide. On the exhale, holster that bind over to the right hip. Draw your elbows toward one another, nice proud chest. Inhale, find that tall spine. Because we have the arms behind the low back, it may feel like you're pulling your chest, your belly forward. Try to gently press the low back into that forearm to stack the spine, keep the tailbone heavy. Nice and easy, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Feel that length through the left side of the neck. Maybe drop the chin towards the right collarbone. And then doing like a yes or no. Just allowing you to open through the left side of the neck. Let it feel good. Let it feel expansive within the upper back, the chest, all the way into the neck, the base of the skull. Drop the chin to the chest if that feels good. And then come on back through center. Inhale, draw it down. When we're here, we're flipping our grip so the opposite thumb's on top. That'll cause you to relace those fingers. Draw those knuckles down, expand. On the exhale, holster that bind over onto the left hip. Draw those elbows toward one another, proud across the collarbones. Light tuck of the tailbone, so we're nice and stacked here. Tall spine through the crown of the head. Keep that length as you drop left ear, left shoulder. Feel that nice length all the way from the back of the right ear to the tip of the shoulder. And then maybe we drop the chin down toward the chest. Maybe the chin goes all the way to the center of the chest. Again, play with it. The sensation will change depending on the orientation of your head. So go into a space that feels good. Nice and easy, come back up. Release the knuckles back down to the floor, fingertips away from one another. They come to the space beyond the toes. Press down in through the tops of the feet, the shins. Press the hips forward as the arm bones roll out and open, finding a soft camel pose. Nice extension within the hips, opening through front body. Head is heavy. Nice and easy, come out of it the way you came. Once those hips come back down towards the heels, walk it forward, puppy pose. So you're going to come into a tabletop position. Then you're going to walk your hands to the top corners of the mat, dropping the chest down, hips stay high. Trying to relax through the shoulders, through the neck as the forehead finds the earth. Chest falls heavy, hips stay high. It's like those shoulder blades are pushing the chest, kind of nudging you down towards the floor. Find that nice expansion across the front body. One more breath. Nice and slow, start to press down through the palms. Lift through the low belly, walk the hands underneath you, and then go ahead and grab your blocks. Coming into a nice spinal warm up here. But see how the addition of the blocks kind of changes that sensation. It makes your arms a little bit longer, if you will. And so just coming into a nice warm up here, feel free to work through the ribs, the hips, the spine. And when I say working through the ribs, I mean just really finding a nice side body stretch here if that feels good, pressing through the blocks, finding some cat-cows, but not the rigid kind, creating space for yourself, work into new space, get curious about different sensations that may exist within your body, good or otherwise. Feel free to change the orientation of your palms so you can always turn those arm bones out so the fingertips can face the knees. I always welcome you to tuck your toes. It's not a position we get ourselves into often. So just stretching through the forearms, stretching through the soles of the feet. Let it feel good. Explore your space. And then within the next breath or so, change the orientation of your hands if you reversed your position. So you're in this tabletop position, a few rounds of cat-cow here. Keeping that soft press through the palms of the hands so we're supported all the way through the shoulders. Toes can be tucked or untucked. On your next inhale, tailbone lifts, belly falls. Pull the chest, the heart through the shoulders as you gaze forward. Exhale, press and round. Pressing down into the earth, pressing the ground away, hiding the heart, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, unravel, tailbone lifts, belly falls. Pull the chest, the heart forward, gaze lifts at the very end. Exhale, chin to chest, press the ground away as we round. Belly button to spine, tailbone tucks under. Inhale, unravel, one segment at a time, till our gaze lifts at the very end. And exhale. Gaze is the first to drop as we round and hide. One more round. Inhale. Sit bones spread wide as the tailbone lifts. Pull the chest forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Few breaths here. Now from this child's pose, this is going to be our starting point and our end point in a way. We're going to build on a ladder flow, going from child's pose to the front of the mat, kind of like those spinal waves that we began class with. Utilize the movement through the spine, the hips that we created during cat-cow. So use the blocks to help bring yourself away from the ground, giving yourself a little bit more space to transition forward and back. You're always welcome to change the heights of the blocks if that feels good for you and your body, so play with it. All postures you are familiar with moving through, just pulling them through a nice step-by-step sequence. So in your child's pose, take one more deep round of breath. On your next inhale, start to pull yourself forward into a lizard lunge. The right foot's going to step outside the right hand. You're going to drop the hips, lift the chest. Feel that nice opening across the front of the left hip. On the exhale, half split, send it back, right toes lift, length through the back line of that right leg. Inhale, pull yourself back forward, lizard lunge. Exhale, right leg comes back to meet the left, child's pose. We're just going to keep flowing one side to the next, continuing to build. Inhale, pull yourself forward, left foot plants outside the hand. You drop the hips, you lift the chest up, create space through the front body. Exhale, half split, send the hips back, left toes lift. Keep reaching that chest towards the front of the mat. Inhale, pull yourself back forward. Exhale, left shin comes back to meet the right, child's pose. Inhale, pull yourself forward, lizard lunge, right foot steps forward. Finishing that inhale as the gaze lifts, belly falls. Exhale, half split, send it back, right toes lift. Inhale, pull yourself forward, twisted lizard lunge this round. We twist over that right thigh, right hand to sky. Gaze up. On the exhale, the right hand plants. Press through the hands, free up the right foot, comes back to meet the left. Child's pose. Left side, inhale, pull it forward, lizard lunge. Left foot plants, lift through the chest, drop the hips low. Exhale, half split, send it back, left toes to sky. Inhale, pull yourself forward, dig through that left heel. We open up, left hand to sky, twist and open. Exhale, left hand comes back down, press through the palms, free up that left foot to come back and meet the right, child's pose. Inhale, pull forward, lizard lunge, drop the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, send it back, half splits. Inhale, pull it forward, twisted lizard lunge, the right hand lifts. On the exhale, we cactus open a little bit deeper. Inhale, sweep the right hand back to that block. Right foot comes back down to meet the left, child's pose. Inhale, pull your body forward, left foot steps outside the hand, lizard lunge, inhale. Exhale, half split, sit it back. Inhale, dig through that left heel to pull you forward into that twisted lizard lunge. On the exhale, cactus, open the chest, the heart. Inhale, sweep that left arm forward, back down to the block. Free up the left foot to meet the right, child's pose. Inhale, pull it forward, lizard lunge. You know where we're moving to, just continuing to add on to our flow. Exhale, half splits, right toes lift, hips go back in space. Inhale, dig through that right heel to pull you forward into that twisted lizard lunge. We open. Exhale, cactus, find some depth in your twist as you expand. Inhale, arms sweeping up, overhead. This time the right forearm's going to drop down to that block. Can you tap and huddle inside that right thigh? Right hand plants onto the block, press down, free up that right foot to meet the left, child's pose. Inhale, pull it forward, left foot steps. Inhale, we open, expand. Exhale, press down through that left foot to push you back in space. And then dig through that left heel to pull you back forward, twisted lizard lunge, we open. Exhale, cactus, find some depth in that twist. Inhale, sweep it up, around and down as the left forearm taps, snuggle in, press down, free the left foot up to meet the right. Child's pose, last round here. Inhale, pull yourself forward, lizard lunge. Finish the inhale as you expand the front body. Exhale, send the hips back in space, half splits. Inhale, pull it forward, twisted lizard lunge. We find that rotation. Exhale, find depth in that space as you cactus the arm. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and around, drop the right forearm down. This round, drop the left forearm down. Finding a little bit more depth in your lizard lunge, adjust the height of the blocks as you need. So if this feels really low or compact, feel like you really can't get there, you can always bring the blocks to a higher height and just bend into the elbows. Always options. Adjust your space as you need, because we'll be here for a few more breaths. Breathing into the front of that left hip, even the front hip crease on that right hand side, because I know that's quite deep into that flexion there. Staying grounded within the right foot, hugging that right knee in. Nice long spine, crown of the head reaching forward, gaze beyond your blocks. From here, tuck the back toes. Wherever your upper body is, keep it there. Can you press down through that back toe, lift the back knee, finding a runner's lunge here, or low runner's lunge, that lizard lunge with the back leg lifted, however you want to envision it. You're lifting that back knee. And then from forearms, you're going to bring hands to blocks, lift out of that space just a pinch. On the exhale, extended pyramid pose, hips go back in space, right toes lift. Use the blocks, take them with you as you need to bring the ground to you so that you can stay long within your spine. Pull that right hip crease back in space as you try to reach the chest towards that right ankle. Plant the right foot, bring those blocks back down if you adjusted them. Press through the palms, free up the right foot to meet the left. High plank is where we move into. Hold here. Feel strong, connected, pressing down through the palms of the hands. For 3, 2, 1. Roll over the toes, drop the knees. Child's pose. 1 breath here. Full exhale out. Inhale, pull the left leg forward. Step it outside the hand, drop the hips, lizard lunge. Inhale, we finish as we lift the chest. Exhale, send the hips back, half splits. Inhale, pull the body forward, twisted lizard lunge, we open up. On the exhale, we deepen our space as we cactus that top arm. Inhale, sweep it up, around and down as the left forearm drops down. The right forearm drops down. Adjust your space as you need. Hugging that left knee in toward the right armpit as you nestle into this space. Big toe stays grounded down on that left-hand side. Back of the head is reaching towards the sky. So I have a tendency in my practice to drop my head a lot. And I do that because I'm trying to see what my body's doing. And it seems like a good thing at the time because I want to see, okay, so I'm dropping my hips, how's my alignment look, all the things. But then I realized that I was creating a habit, whether I was looking at what my body was doing or not, my head was drooping 90% of the time. I think it was even a note that was provided or shared with me during my teacher training. So everything looks great, but you keep looking down at the floor. So if that's you, especially since having some tension and discomfort within the neck because we're looking down at our phones, down at our devices, utilize this time, this space to get a little bit of strength, endurance within those postural muscles within the spine. That long-winded little monologue there kept us here for an extra breath or so. But nice and slow, keeping the forearms down, tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, pause here. And then bring the hands back to the blocks, lift out of that space, coming into a runner's lunge. Exhale, extended pyramid pose, send it back in space. Think of pulling that left hip back behind you, strong within that left heel, so we're nice and energetic within the lower body. Adjust the heights of the blocks as you need. Plant the left foot. Left foot comes back to meet the right high plank and pause for 3, 2, 1. Roll over the toes, drop the knees, child's pose, placing the blocks to the side. Taking a few breaths in your child's pose. And then make your way into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Coming into your lifted shape, pedal the dog. Wiggle the hips, open through the side bodies, the shoulders, the chest. Working through the calves or the soles of the feet, the toes, all the things. You have the time and space, so utilize it to just let this feel good. Let it feel creative and fluid and natural in your body. Within the next breath or so, finding that downward facing dog. On your next inhale, in high up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Then hips go back up high towards the sky. 10 count, journey feet to hands for 10, 9. Keep that strong press through the heels of the hands so you can keep those hips high towards the sky. You might feel your core helping you out here for 3, 2, 1. Feet between the hands. Ragdoll, grab opposite elbows, head heavy. And just working through the back line of the legs, finding length there, but also taking advantage of some traction through the neck, the base of the skull, really allowing the head to fall heavy in this space. Feel free to find stillness or sway side to side. Nice and easy. Start to release the hands toward the earth. Forwards, twisted, forward fold. The right hand plants, bend through the right knee, straighten through the left arm to sky, find your twist. Trying to draw the right rib cage underneath the left as we open up. Exhale, find your fold. Switching sides. Left knee bends, right leg straightens. Inhale, we open up. Find that twist. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, half lift, palms to shins. Feeling that help us lengthen through the spine, strong through the back body. Shoulders draw down away from the ears. Neck is long. Crown of head toward the front of your mat. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, root to rise, take it slow. Ragdoll your way up into that Tadasana. Knees stay soft. And as the tailbone starts to tuck underneath you, legs start to straighten, shoulders start to stack and roll open. And create a big circle around your being as you reach those fingertips up towards the sky. Grab hold of the left wrist, curtsy the left foot behind the right side, body stretch, we open up. And then bend the left elbow, catch the back of the head, and press the back of the skull into the forearm, opening through the side body, the back of the neck. Feel expansive in this space. Inhale through center. Grab hold of the right wrist. Exhale over towards the left side as the right foot curtsies behind. Bend the right elbow, catch the back of the skull, press the back of the head into your forearm as you gaze to the top right corner of your space. I should say of your room, so you're looking up, not down. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, cactus, open, expand. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center as you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the earth, step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step, hop or float, feet to hands. Taking it slow, no specific count, but take your time. As you find that forward fold, inhale, half lift. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, root to rise. Let it be fluid, drapey, all the things. Finish the inhale as arms reach up overhead. Exhale, cactus, open, expand. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center as you fold. Inhale, half lift, strong back body. Exhale, find your fold, hands plant, step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 2 more rounds. Inhale, heels lift, exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step, hop or float. Try something new. Inhale, find that half lift as you find the top of your mat. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, cactus, open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center, find your fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the earth, step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last round, inhale, heels lift. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step, hop or float, top of the mat. 3 to 5 count journey to take your time to get there. Inhale, find a half lift. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, root to rise. Let it be your journey to get there. Exhale, cactus, open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center, you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands plant, step it back, high plank. Chaturanga, you lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Three more. Now, as you begin to settle your mind, your body, your breath here in this downward facing dog, and just a few notes for the flow that's coming up. It's all space that you're familiar with. It's all space that we kind of flowed through already in our grounded sequence at the very beginning. So with that, blocks are not required, but you have them. If you find after we go through the first side, you would like to help that to support your journey, grab them, okay? There is no specific requirement as we move through the next flow. So if that's something that you enjoy utilizing today, continue to do so. One more breath here together. On your next inhale, right leg lifts up high towards the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, shift it forward, thigh to belly. Feel that press through the hands, that pull of the right thigh in towards the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Find a strong reach to the back corner of the room. Exhale, knee to chest, step it through this round. Crescent lunge. So you might find if you have a tough time smoothly getting that right foot between the hands, that having blocks underneath the hands might feel like that makes that a little bit more accessible, a little kinder on your body. But as you come into this crescent lunge, we find that strong reach through the fingertips. So with that reach, we find length through the spine, length through the torso. But don't let that pull you out of your lower body. Stay in it. Stay committed to that front knee. Little height within those back toes. Can we stay connected within the front of the core to support our space here, to really pull it all together, centralizing yourself in this shape. Inhale, we find height. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, we reach tall. On the exhale, frame the front foot, extended pyramid pose, the right toes lift. Now here's another space where those blocks might feel nice to help press the ground away. And feel a little bit more strength, more connection here in this space. Keeping that spine long, right hip drawn underneath. Pull into that right knee, bend it down, left hand plants, right hand to sky, twisted runner's lunge. Draw that right hip crease back in space, left hip drops down. But not so much where you feel like that knee is spilling out, not just yet. Find that twist, strong within the lower body. So we're grounded down through that right big toe, high up onto the pads of those back toes. Feel that strength, that zipping of the inner thighs to lift us up and out. Exalted crescent, right hand finds the back leg, left hand to sky. You can stay twisted in this shape, or if you'd like to shine the heart toward the front of your mat, you're welcome to. Can you press strong through the lower body without coming out of it? Reach those fingertips to lighten through the space in the low back, lifting your heart towards the sky. On the exhale, left hand comes down, high horizon. The right hand sweeps down and around, up and overhead as you spin onto the pinky edges of the feet. Stay high or go low. High, meaning right hand up and overhead, pressing down with that bottom hand to lift those hips towards the sky. Or you drop those hips low, reaching your fingertips towards the back of the mat. Wherever you choose to be, you close it off. So you're coming back into a crescent lunge, but we're staying hinged here. So unravel, frame the front, or unravel, right bicep is going to stay toward the ear. Left arm is going to come up to meet it. So we're in a hinged crescent lunge. Press through the sole of that right foot to lift the torso off that right thigh just a little bit here for 3, 2, side angle in 1, pivot the left heel down, right hand to floor, left hand to sky. Right forearm can always come to the right thigh to stay lifted in this space. Using that connection of upper body to lower body to help turn the torso just a little bit deeper, reaching for those through those fingertips to create space for yourself here. Holding strong for 3, 2, reverse triangle in 1, straighten through the right leg. Left arm down, right arm to sky. We open, coming out of that right hip. Won't be here as long as the others. And then pinwheel, frame that front foot. Hands plant, step the right foot back in space. Your vinyasa, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Left hand side. Noting where you might have liked some blocks. If you'd like to incorporate those as we move forward, I'll involve them on the next round. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, shift it forward. Thigh to belly. Press strong through those hands. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach long. Exhale, knee to chest, find that compression first. Step it through. Crescent lunge, inhale. Arms up and overhead. Fingertips reach tall. Can we reach those thumbs toward the back of the room? Draw down through the rib cage, lift through the hip points. Commit to that front knee. High up onto the back toes. Everything is connected. Everything is working for you here in some capacity. It's all a piece to the puzzle. Square off those hips. Draw those inner thighs toward one another. Recommit to that front knee. On the inhale, we find length. Exhale, sink deeper. Inhale, reach it tall. On the exhale, frame the front foot. Extended pyramid pose, send the hips back in space. Fingertips or palms to earth. Feeling that push-pull of pressing the ground away, but drawing the chest, the heart towards that front ankle. Here for another 3, 2. Runner's lunge in 1. Plant the left foot, right hand plants. Inhale, left arm to sky. Using the press of that right hand, the reach of the left to help pull you and twist you deeper into this space, drawing belly button, drawing it in to help you twist a little bit deeper, using the muscles of your core. Strong and connected within the lower body, light within the upper. Keeping this reach to the left fingertips, peel yourself up and off the ground, finding that exalted crescent as the left hand finds the back of that right thigh. Right fingertips reach up and back. Can you reach the chest, the heart towards the front of the room to help lift you out of your low back? Right hand comes down. Left arm sweeps high horizon, arm up and overhead. You can drop the hips, reach those fingertips toward the back of the mat if that feels good. Square yourself off top of the mat, hinged crescent lunge. So pivot the toes, left bicep toward the ear, right arm toward the ear, coming up to meet it. Here for 3, 2, 1. Side angle, left forearm can come to left thigh as you pivot the right heel down and open up. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Stay connected within the front body. So rib cage tries to meet those hip points long within the tailbone. Here for 3, 2, 1. Press out of it. Reverse your triangle. Straighten through that left leg. Reach those left fingertips up and back. And then we close it off, bend through the left foot or left knee, frame that front foot, step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more rounds each side. I'll utilize the blocks this round to show you how you can utilize those in this space. And even if all of those postures felt very accessible, the transitions felt accessible, feel free to play. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, shift it forward, strong press through the hands. Inhale, three-legged dog, we lift. Exhale, knee to chest, step it through. On the inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, sink us deeper. Inhales, give us length. Exhale, sink low. Inhale, find height. Exhale, lower. 1 more breath, inhale. On the exhale, hands to the block, send your hips back in space, half extended pyramid pose, not half splits, we're lifted here. Hands to blocks. If you're using blocks, pull those with you. Blocks come back down. Left hand down, right arm up, twisted runner's lunge. Hand to block, press strong, reach tall. Exalted crescent, right hand comes back, left hand to sky. Open, expand. On the exhale, left hand comes down, right arm sweeps up and overhead. High horizon, get that right block out of your way if you need. On the exhale, close it off, right bicep to ear, left bicep to ear. Press through that right foot, lift in your space for 3, 2, 1. Side angle, right forearm to right thigh, left arm up and overhead, the left heel pivots down. Find length, establish your space. Strong press out of that right foot, reverse your triangle. Open, expand, deep inhale. On the exhale, we close it off. Hands to block, step it back. Your vinyasa. Find your flow. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, send it forward. Inhale, three-legged dog, we reach up. Exhale, knee to chest, step it through. On the inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, sink low. Inhale, find height. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands frame that foot. Send it back, extended pyramid pose. Use the blocks to pull you deeper into this space. Drop the blocks, twisted runner's lunge. Right hand plants, left hand to sky. We twist. Strong within the lower body, exalted crescent. Deep, big inhale to expand through the front body. On the exhale, we close it off, high horizon. Scooch that left block out of your way as you pivot and open. On the exhale, we close it off, left bicep to ear. Right bicep comes to meet it. Side angle, we pivot open. Left forearm down, right heel down. Expand. Strong press through the left foot, we open up, reverse triangle. Exhale, frame that front foot. Step it back, high plank. Your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. On that exhale. 2 more breaths here. 1 more round of flow. Blocks or no blocks. You know where we're moving to. A little bit more breath to movement. But move at a pace that feels comfortable for you, that feels in flow with your body, your breath. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, shift it forward. Inhale, three-legged dog, open. Exhale, right knee to chest, step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, find height. Exhale, hands to block. Extended pyramid pose. Drop the blocks. Inhale, twisted runner's lunge. Exhale, exalted crescent. Inhale, expand. Exhale, hands to left hand down, high horizon. We sweep open. Exhale, close it off, right bicep to ear, left bicep to ear, and pause. Right forearm down, open up, side angle. Exhale, reverse triangle. Arms, do whatever feels good. Close it off. Frame that foot, step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last side, last flow. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, cheetah pose. Inhale, three-legged dog, extend and open. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, we lift up and out of it. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, find length. Exhale, hands to blocks. Extended pyramid pose, we send it back. Inhale, right hand plants, we twist open. Exhale, exalted crescent. Inhale, expand and open. On the exhale, we close off. Sweep the left arm down and forward, high horizon. Exhale, close it off. Right arm comes to meet the left. Hinge crescent. And then pivot the back heel down, left forearm down, side angle, right arm up and overhead. Press through the left foot, open up, reverse triangle. Exhale, close it off. We frame the front foot. We step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Two more breaths here. If you had blocks, remove those. Place them over to the side. We don't need them. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. 10 count journey, top of the mat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find your fold at the very end. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Make it slow, deliberate, intentional. Arms up and overhead, we reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up high onto the toes, heels left. Slowly lower, hips to heels, toes posed for 10. Like we're sliding down a wall for 8. Shoulders stacked over hips for 6. High up on those toes for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, hips to heels or hovering hips to heels. Hands stay at heart center. Arms can reach out, counterbalance, bring those sit bones back down toward the floor. Soles of the feet toward one another, Baddha Konasana. Lace those fingers toward the pinky edge. Inhale, find a tall spine. Knees heavy down towards the floor. Exhale, find your fold, elbows to inner thigh. Spine stays nice and long to start, and then once you find your edge, then drape the head. Let it get heavy. With every inhale, we find a little lift, and then with the exhale, we get heavier. It's like a flow. It's like an inhale, like a wave. On the inhales, the water pulls up to shore, and on the exhale, it draws back into the ocean. Nice and easy, unravel. Moving into Janu Shirshasana, so the left foot's going to come in, right foot's going to come out. Your variations, your supports, whatever makes sense for you. But we're going to start with a side body stretch first. So if you'd like a block to support your right forearm, you can. So you can just kind of rest the forearm down onto this block in some capacity. Inhale the left arm to sky. Exhale, drop the forearm down onto that block as the left fingertips reach up and over. So forearm can rest here. It can hug inside that right thigh to help turn the chest, the heart just a little bit. That right hand can reach for the opposite knee to help pull you deeper. Wherever you are, take one deep breath into the left side body, the left low back. And on the exhale, turn the chest over that right thigh, reaching to the outside edge of the right leg. Maybe it's at the ankle, maybe it's at the knee, maybe it's at the thigh. Just find a reach. So that torso is right over that right thigh. Left hand is reaching towards the outside edge. And let that pull you deep into the space, breathing into the left low back. Nice and slow, come on out. Stargazer, reverse your movement. So draw down through that right heel, through the left shin. Fingertips beyond that left hip as you draw down to reach up. Expand forward. Exhale, lower down. Switching sides. Sole of the right foot comes in, left leg comes out. That left leg, it can be straight out in front of you. It can be wide out to the side. Let it be yours. Left arm is going to nestle to the inside of that left thigh, whether it's on a block or on the earth. That right arm up and overhead. Exhale. Drop into this side body stretch. Keeping those sit bones anchored, trying to keep a nice long spine so we can stay out of that left hip as best we can. Inhale, find that nice long reach. And then on the exhale, we're reaching somewhere towards the outside edge of that left leg. Letting that connection pull us deeper into this space, relaxing through the belly. Heavy within the head, the neck. One more deep breath into that right low back, right rib cage. Nice and slowly unravel. Right hand plants behind the right hip. Press up, lift up. Stargazer. Exhale, lower down. Last round here. Right leg extends out nice and long, finding some variation of a seated forward fold, something symmetrical here. So whether it's a seated forward fold, legs out in front, or wide-legged in some variation. Active within the lower body, so heels reach away, toes to sky. Inhale, find a nice tall spine. And then exhale, we reach it forward and down. Nice and easy, walk yourself back upright. Slowly gather the lower body in toward you, coming into a bear sit. Hook those forearms around the shins. Grab hold of opposite wrists and squeeze the thighs toward you as you find a nice tall spine sitting right on top of those sit bones. And then slowly soften through the spine. As you start to melt towards the floor, hands can cup the kneecaps as you drape the body down onto the mat. Nice and easy, the crown of the head or the back of the head rests, heavy on toward the floor. Feel free to give a nice easy windshield wiper left to right. Then reclined figure four is where we're moving into. So right ankle crosses over the left thigh. Draw that right knee out and open. And then give that left shin a hug or thigh a hug towards your body. Feeling that compression. Trying to keep that right knee drawn out. Breathe into the sensation, keeping the sides of the waist nice and long. Breathing into that compressed space within the right hip, letting go what we don't need. Keeping that shape, let the sole of the left foot come down toward the earth. Supine, figure four, twist. Right arm is anchored down. Let that shape fall over towards the left side of the room. Draw that right knee towards the top of the mat. Breathing into the right side body. Come on out. Bring that back to center. Unravel right from left. A little oscillation of the knees before switching sides. Left ankle crosses over right knee. Bring that shape toward you if that feels good. letting that left knee aim towards the front corner of the mat. Keep that shape. Right foot comes down towards the mat. Maybe grab hold of that left ankle as you fall over towards the right side. Left shoulder's anchored toward the floor. Drawing that left knee towards the top of the mat. Just feeling how that changes the sensation within the left hip, the side of the waist. Nice and easy. Come on back up. Unravel left to right, windshield wiper. And then I encourage you to find whatever positions or postures, are calling to you to finish up class today. I'm going to take a plow pose, but if happy baby is something that is calling to you, please take it. Wherever you choose to move into, maybe it's a bridge pose if you want a little bit more activation within your space. Be here for another breath or so. And then slowly unravel into your Shavasana. Options here if you have the blocks. Options to do a little heart opener if that feels good. With that, you can create a little ramp for yourself. So first block is perpendicular to your spine. Second one is like a little pillow, maybe on the highest height. And then you just scooch up to that so that your shoulder blades or the points of your shoulder blades are just above. And then the tall block is supporting the back of your head. Arms are draped open. Nice and receptive to the energy flowing within you, flowing around you. Relaxing through the belly, through the spine, the hips and the shoulders. If you want to rest in supported Supta Baddha Konasana or maybe a supported bridge pose, those options are welcome and available to you as well. But wherever you choose to be, set yourself up so that the body can settle and accept the posture that it's in without fighting, without tension. And as always, I encourage you to be here for another 5 to 10 more breaths, taking as much time as you need to unravel and release and find stillness following your flow. As always, thank y'all so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Have an awesome rest of your day.